Hey guys, it's Carla. As some of you know, I lost my mother in a car accident last week, and so I've taken a break from painting. But today I decided to try to get back at it. So on my canvas, I've got raw sienna as my background color, and then I've traced on my outline. If you want the free outline, then just look in the description below. I'm using an 8x10 canvas panel and acrylic paint, and you can paint this on different surfaces, but I'm using a canvas panel because it's easy to find and inexpensive. So the first thing I'm doing with a flat synthetic brush is covering the background. So I mixed up a shade of green, and I'm just very loosely brushing this in. I want to show my brush strokes, so I'm just doing it very loosely. And if you mess up the shape of your hat, don't worry, you can come back later and fix that. I'm using cheap brush and cheap paint. This is craft paint. So this is not something you got to spend a lot of money on to create these paintings. So I hope you try them. So now I'm just painting the grass between the fence rails. And I forgot the little section between his legs, so I have to come back later and do that. You might want to go ahead and do it now. And for the fence, I'm just starting with I think that's burnt umber or something like that, nutmeg or something like that, some kind of warm brown color. And I'm just putting in my base coat, and then I'll come back and put highlights and shadows on it. And you don't have to be real careful at this point because there's going to be so many other shades on top of it. Plus, this is just old fence wood, so you don't want it to be smooth anyway. So these are just subtle highlights that I'm doing now, but then I dried it and I'm going back with more distinct highlights. The highlights are mostly on the tops of the boards, and I'll be putting a darker color more on the bottom. So I'm just mixing it blue and brown. So I'm keeping it mostly at the bottom of the boards, but then I just very lightly brush it throughout. And right here where he's standing, it's going to be more shaded where he's blocking the light. So make sure you get that in to give it the depth that it needs. For those of you who knew about my mother's accident, thank you for your words of encouragement and your prayers. So I'm doing all three of these boards basically the same, just know where your shadows need to be around him. Now with pure white, I'm using a small flat brush to put some brighter highlights on the tops of the boards. All right, now I'm going to start on his hat. So the first thing I want to do is just block in all of my base colors. So the color of my hat, and the color of the shirt, and the color of the jeans. So the base color for the shirt is just going to be pure white. And even though it looks bright right now, when it dries, it dulls down, so we will have to come back with more white later and brighten it up. Now I'm covering up my outline, the pockets and stuff. If you don't want to cover it, I mean, they're pretty easy to put back in, but if you don't want to cover them up, then just paint a little different shade on the pockets than you do on the jeans. Okay, now I'm using a round brush with a pointed tip. So I'm just going to work on my hat until I get it the way I want it. And then just keep moving down, move on to the shirt and then the jeans. Make sure that you keep your brush strokes going in a circular motion like this around the hat so that it has the texture that it needs. I'm just mixing up a shadow color here with more of a bluish tint to it, but as I've said before, colors are not as important as shades, so you just want to make sure that you get your darks where darks are and lights where lights are, but they don't have to be the same color of dark and light. And right here I'm just using my background color to reshape my hat. This is just like a little worn out place on his hat. Again, just keep working with it till you get it the way you want it. Just look at the reference photo and or come up with your own version of the hat. All right, now I'm moving on to the shirt, and right underneath the hat is a shadow. That's what that blue is. That's just a shadow from the hat. And again, just look at the reference photo and see where all your shadows need to be for the shirt. There's wrinkles and creases and stuff. Now I'm just putting in some darker, in the very deepest shadows, just putting in a darker color. And that brown is just dirt, I guess, on his shirt. Okay, so now that that white is dry, I'm coming back and brightening it up where it dulled down when it dried. Now his jeans are also dirty, so that's what this is. It's a shadow and dirt. Now here's the top of his pockets. With these jeans, honestly, you're just going to have to keep working with it back and forth with lights and darks and dirt, and just maybe walk away every now and then and come back to see what it needs. So I'm just shaping the pockets now. So just keep working with the jeans until you're happy with them, and that's the final step. I hope you guys enjoyed this and give it a try. And if you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that. And thank you so much for watching. God bless you.